I think people would be really surprised that cancer and deep vein thrombosis would go together. On my experience, when my husband wasn't well, he had lung cancer, I had no idea. So it was a complete shock to me for my husband to have had a clot go to his lung. Regarding deep vein thrombosis, in that information was never told about that I could possibly get deep vein thrombosis through having cancer, and it was the same with my husband. It was quite a shock to find that my husband died with a deep vein thrombosis caused by the cancer. The first time I heard about the deep vein thrombosis was when I had my PICC line put in, and then that's on that information, that's when they said that it's possible that you could get deep vein thrombosis caused by the PICC line, not by my cancer. The oncologist on my first diagnose, they're more concerned about the cancer, that's their priority. I feel that they should have mentioned to me about the deep vein thrombosis possibility could happen. Even if it's not the oncologist, the specialised nurse should have said something. Having been diagnosed with cancer and having the cancer was high on the agenda. Then having the news that I had a clot at that point was on level terms, I would say. The only information I had to help me use Fragmin was out of the actual box itself. I didn't have any other at all. If I was to meet a newly diagnosed cancer patient, I think I would share my story with them and tell them about the risk of deep vein thrombosis. It's important that cancer patients know. My husband had lung cancer and he had a PE to his lungs. He went off to make a cup of coffee, tea, asked me if I wanted to have tea, and then he come running back into the room, flung open up the door, and he had a band on his hand, and it was like it was getting tight. And when I looked at him, it was completely blue. I've never seen anyone so blue. I said, I'm phoning the ambulance, and he says, I'll get past this, don't you dare phone the ambulance. Took no notice of him, and it took about 3 or 4 times to get my postcode right. I was in real panic mode. Eventually they came and they whisked him out into the ambulance. I wasn't able to go in, they shut the doors on me, and that was about 12 o'clock. The clock at home has actually stood still. The time when it started has stopped, and that's how it remains. Time we got to the hospital, although we said no resus, they were trying to resus him. And I remember it was horrible. That was the last of Mark. He never did come round to say goodbye. And I was expecting, cancer patients to die slowly and not as sudden as this. So that's why I think it's really important that it gets out there, that it is important that deep vein thrombosis is treated as well as just for prevention rather than treated, whichever way round.